The Australian government is advising people to reconsider their need to travel to Wuhan in China as authorities scramble to stop the spread of the deadly coronavirus. Over the past 24 hours, the death toll has nearly doubled to 17. More than 500 cases have been reported. And here, the New South Wales Health Department is investigating one suspected case. Chinese authorities have now shut down all outbound flights and trains from Wuhan as they try to contain the virus. Well, one of the last flights to leave landed at Sydney Airport this morning, where Liv Casben begins our coverage.
This was the plane that authorities feared was delivering a deadly virus to Australian shores. Passengers on flight MU749, direct from Wuhan, were taking every precaution.
Every passenger in flight cover their mouth and use the alcohol wipes to do everything. I think it's really good.
Authorities say Australia is as prepared as possible.
Every one of our state public health departments has a designated isolation facility and clearly established protocols to get people to those facilities.
We screened every passenger on the direct flight from Wuhan today.
Passengers on board the flight were given an information booklet and asked how they were feeling before they were allowed to leave the airport. One passenger told us that everybody on board, including the flight crew, was wearing a mask.
They just told me if we feel bad, we should go to the hospital and call the doctor.
While no cases were reported from this flight, fears in New South Wales were realised anyway, with a suspected case of coronavirus identified in a person who had earlier returned from Wuhan. The patient has been isolated and is currently being subjected to testing.
Whilst I'm announcing today that we have one case under investigation, that number will obviously change. It may change by the time I go back to the office, and so that number will be a revolving number.
Authorities warn they still don't understand how the virus is transferred and that it could incubate for up to 2 weeks.
I need to continue to wear a mask in my home.
It means for those who have potentially been exposed that the threat is not over. Liv Casben, ABC News, Sydney.
And our China crew had just arrived in Wuhan when the news of the transport lockdown broke. Cameraman Brant Cumming and correspondent Bill Birtles then joined the rush to leave, as Bill explains from Shanghai Airport.
The government's bombshell in the early hours of the morning presented people with an impossible choice. Stay in the city for who knows how long in the midst of an escalating epidemic, or try to get out quick smart. As you can imagine, many people made a beeline for Wuhan's airport and train station, but others opted to bunker down to be with their families.
These passengers are travelling where others would prefer not, desperate to spend time with family on the Lunar New Year. We joined a plane load of travellers into the coronavirus epicentre, Wuhan, a city of 11 million people. But within hours, the situation here had dramatically changed. A government announcement at 2 a.m. abruptly declared anyone who wanted to leave had just 8 hours to get out.
Why should I worry? The virus is already here. I'm not concerned.
I can still leave, but now I've changed my mind. I've decided it's better to stay here with family.
While some people here appear relaxed, most are taking this very seriously. It's rare to see anybody here not wearing a mask, and those able to escape in the nick of time say they feel very lucky.
For some, the snap decision scuttled long-planned holidays.
What can you say? The government's measures are okay. We have to consider the greater good.
Under pressure to avoid a global epidemic, China's government ordered all public transport to stop at 10 a.m. The potential for this virus to spread during the holiday period is mammoth. Mainlanders are expected to make 7 million trips abroad this week and hundreds of millions within the country. They now make 150 million more trips out of China each year than when the SARS virus spread in 2003.
We stress to them that by having a strong action, not only they will control the outbreak in their country, but they will also minimize the chances of this outbreak spreading internationally.
For those who manage to leave Wuhan in time, screening and health checks await wherever they go. A city under quarantine with no idea how long it'll be cut off from the world. Bill Birtles, ABC News, Shanghai.